What's up, love bugs? I am back again with another video. So welcome to my channel. If you are new, you are a part of the love bug gang now, and welcome back to all of my love bugs that's been rocking with me since the beginning. So yes, I am here again with another video, and this is one of my videos that are going to be connected to the life journey videos that I will be posting every now and then when something comes up in my mind, or when God has placed something in my heart to let you guys know about, or just to talk about my life in general. So today I am going to talk about your power is out. Your power is out. What should you do? What are you going to do when your power goes out? And so y'all probably like, girl, what are you talking about? Where are you about to go with this? So let me go ahead and get into the video so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so basically my power went out in my life, and I want to talk to you all about what that means and how I am getting through it right now and what that looks like. And so imagine if you're at home and you're going about your day and everything is going good, and then your power just suddenly goes out. Your lights start flickering, and then next thing you know, it's out, and you like, what do? You call DTE, they like, it's gonna take some days and your light's not gonna be on. And so what you gonna do? You just gonna sit in the dark and just not do anything? Are you gonna go figure out what you can do? Are you about to go light some candles? Are you about to go find your flashlight so you can see where you're going in your house? Or are you just gonna sit there in darkness and be like, I'm just gonna sit and wait until the light come back on? And so that's where I was at in my life literally a year ago, like for real, a whole year ago. That's where I was at, where not just physically, just in the real world of your power being out, but I'm talking about internal, your power inside of you going out. And I was at the point where I was like, good, you know, my job had just hired me full time. I'm good. I'm living life. COVID just happened. Okay, I'm a little down about that, but we're not deep into it yet, so nothing's like very serious. But I was still like internally going through things that I just did not want to really deal with or want to like face. And some stuff could be like serious, some stuff is not that serious, just little things. And so I found myself with my power out, and I'm like, God, how did my power go out? Like, how did I get here? What are you trying to tell me? Because sometimes you could be living your best life and your power go out. You don't have to be going through nothing for your power to go out inside of you. And sometimes it happens to all of us, where your power inside of you goes out, and you sit there and you're asking God, like, what's next? What am I supposed to do? What is the thing that I am going to do next? How am I going to get out of this? And so I was like, I have option A, to just sit here, let my power go out, and I just act like everything is good, and I'm just gonna keep pushing into like I gotta deal with it. Or option B, let's deal with it now. Let's figure out how I can get through this, and let's see what is God trying to tell me through all of this. And so I was like, all right, option B, let's figure out what's happening, like what's going on in my life, and why is my power going out, or why do I feel like my power is out right now? Because sometimes you may feel like your power is out, but really it's God trying to sit you down to tell you something. And so that's where I was at, where I felt like my power was out because God was trying to sit me down and tell me something. And so he had to shut out everything else in the world. Everything else in my life had to go dark. And people may feel like I started to just not talk to them no more. People probably felt that I was just isolating myself. Or I have felt that sometimes I just felt bad that I wasn't answering people's phone calls. But sometimes God says you got to take everything outside of the outside society, the world, people. Sometimes you got to shut things off, and it's no disrespect to nobody, but it's you got to work on you so you can be the best for other people, so you can really be there and do what you're supposed to do in this world. And so I had to sit down in my darkness and say, okay, God has literally shut everything down. COVID has happened, so we're already at home. And what am I going to do? Like, am I going to let this get the best of me, or am I going to figure out how I can climb out of this? And so in my darkness, I said, okay, your light can still shine. There can still be light within your darkness. You just got to figure out what it's going to be. And so, just like in real world, when your light goes out, like you go get a candle, you go get some flashlights. And so I had to go get these things in my life to figure out how I can get my light to come back on. And so I applied to grad school, got accepted. That's one candle. Then, you know, I got the podcast with my best friend. We starting to get this together. That's another light. I'm blessed. You know, I'm healthy. Got friends, got my family. That's another light. And so I started seeing these different lights happening. I'm like, okay, God, I see you still here. Even in my darkness, I still see you showing up. Even when I feel like I'm alone, or even when I feel like it's dark, because really I'm not alone. It's just that it's only just God there. And that's why I felt alone, because it was only just God. But I really wasn't alone, because he was right there by me the whole time. And so I started seeing these different things that were lights that were shining in my life. And I said, okay, even in my darkness, I can still see something. There's still hope. That's not the end. It's not the end all. I can still get through this. But what I had to realize is that God wasn't even trying to tell me to turn on the light. I was turning on all the wrong things. I was turning on things to make me feel good, to make me feel like I was doing something, where these are blessings, don't get me wrong, and these are good things that's happening in my life. But that's not what God's trying to tell me. That's not what he's trying to show me. And so I had to realize, even with the little lights that I had on in my life, God still wasn't letting the lights come all the way on, because I wasn't focused on the right thing. And so he said, you need to sit in this darkness a little bit longer until you understand what I'm really trying to tell you. And so sometimes we gotta sit in that darkness, and that forces us to face things that we tried to not face all of our life, or we tried not to focus on, and we just kept trying to move and push and try to do everything. But God is like, you're not gonna be able to do everything until you get this together, until you get you together. And so I had to realize that, and in that darkness, it felt like I had to lean on God. I had to really get desperate. And I said, okay, God, I'm gonna attend this. I'm gonna read the Bible. I'm gonna get closer to you. I'm gonna do all these things. I'm hungry for you now, because I don't have nothing else. These things that I see as blessings, or these things that I seen as my little light, ain't working. It's not happening. It ain't good enough. So I had to reevaluate everything and say, okay, God, I see what you're saying. So let me get into it. Let me force myself to dive into what's important. And the only thing that was important was him at that time, and still is. And that's where it has to be, where you hit a mark in your life where you realize that nothing else matters but God. And if it ain't for God, or if it's not shining light for God, or helping people to know about God, or doing your purpose or your assignment, then it's not important. It's good, but it's not important. It's not the meaning of everything. And so I had to realize that, and I had to sit in that darkness, and I had to figure out everything. And sometimes people think that being in the dark is sad, but it's not. It's hard, it's tough, it's not easy, but it's not sad. You sitting there because you gotta realize that God got a bigger purpose and a bigger plan for you. And he had to shut everything else off for you to understand that you so much bigger. You bigger than the things in this society. You bigger than your job that you think that is your end all. You bigger than the things that you see as glamour in your life. Like, everything is so much bigger. But you don't understand that until you sit in that darkness, when your power goes out, and you say, what am I going to do now? And so with that, I just wanted to just talk about that. Even though you may feel like your power is out, or if your power is out, that it's not the end of the world, and that it's the step of God trying to show you something bigger and better in your life, and that it is the start of something new. And so I'm on this journey where I found out that the life I was living before was my identity that the society gave me. And it was cool, And some of the things that comes with your identity in society can be connected to your purpose, but sometimes it can make you lose focus of the purpose that God has given you. And so God had to shut everything down for me to realize that I was living life in my identity of society and what the world gave me. And I needed to understand that he wants me to see my God-given identity, because my God-given identity is connected to generations. My God-given identity is connected to my purpose. My God-given identity is connected to my assignment in this world. It's connected to my relationship with God. And so when you start to see your God-given identity, the things in society that you may be in or doing is not going to just be something that just happened. It's going to be things that God placed right there. People you start talking to is because God placed them right there. The things that you start working on or your projects that you are getting into is because God has placed them right there, because it's connected to something that he wants you to do for someone else, to see who God is and what he has for you in this world. And so I am on this journey now of seeing what my God-given identity is, and that's my message. And I told y'all with this whole life journey with Kia, I'm going to try to end with a message to give you, so that when you leave this video, you take something with you. And so not only do I want you to take the power part, I want you to take that, find out what your God-given identity is. Stop living your life in an identity that the society and the world has given you all your life. Step back and realize that, go into that dark spot in your life, or go to that dark place and sit there and cry out to God, talk to God, yearn for him, be hungry for him. Find out what your God-given identity is. And it's not going to happen overnight. Like I'm telling you, I'm walking through the journey now, because yes, it happened last year, but it took me time to start to really get in the steps of like, okay, I see what you're saying, God, I see what you're doing, whoop, whoop, whoop. So now I'm like, okay, God, you trying to show me my God-given identity. And it hit you like you be shut all the way down because you thought you knew who you were all these years. But I found out that like I really don't know who I am. Like I know a little bit of me, and like I said, some things are connected to your God-given identity, but I don't really know who I am. And it's my own fault, because I tried to run away from what God was trying to tell me, because I felt like I was too scared, or I felt like, not me, why me, God? Don't come over here with it. Like, I just want to do this. I just want to be simple. I just want to go about my life. But when God has a fire for you, and he wants your light to shine, and he wants the best for you, he gonna keep pressing you. And even if that means he gotta shut everything else off and turn the power off and turn the lights off for you to see that the light he wants you to shine is all connected to him. And until you realize that, you're gonna be walking in darkness all your life. You're gonna be walking with no power. Who wanna live with no power? We need power, y'all. So that is my message to y'all, and I hope that this helped anybody out there. I didn't really know what I was gonna go with this. I just allow God to work within me, and so I just turn on the camera and I'll be like, all right, let's go and let's see what happens. And so I don't really be having much plan with it, because I want to be transparent and honest with you. And so I hope that this video helps somebody else out there. And let me know in the comments, do you feel like that God turned the lights off on you so that he can shine light on what's important in your life? Or tell me, if you did go through that, how were you able to get through your steps? Like, it can help me too, because I'm in the process of going through it. And you got the good days and you got the bad days, and you got like everything can be good in your life, but you trying to figure out, when you trying to figure out your God-given identity, it be so deep that like sometimes people may feel like something wrong with you, but it's not really nothing wrong with you. you just focused on what God's trying to tell you. And so anyway, I hope it helps someone out there. Make sure you comment, make sure you share, like this, tell a friend, tell a family member to make sure that y'all stay tuned, because I have more videos that will be coming out for you all, and it's going to be Life with Kia, this journey that we're going on of finding who we are in God, finding out who we are as a person in this world, and just living this life, this journey that we are called on. And so I just want to let you know that you are not alone. I am here with you every step of the way. We got it. Y'all my love bugs, and we in it until the end. And so I love you all. I hope everyone have a wonderful day at whatever time you may be watching this. And yeah, stay tuned to my next videos that will be coming out. And make sure that you go check out On a Cloud podcast that I have with my best friend on all platforms: SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And so on YouTube it's Frack Boulevard, but everywhere else it is On a Cloud podcast. So make sure you stay tuned and check us out and subscribe to this channel and all of our channels for our podcast. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.